Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another installment in the Master in League Play, where I go through tops and tricks of your favourite maps on League Play, and hopefully get you to win more games. For those of you who are still playing League Play, this might be beneficial for you because this is going to be an apocalypse tips and tricks, guys. So if you want to win more apocalypse games, or you want to see some maybe hidden spots and tips and tricks, make sure you stick around the entirety of the video because it's going to be rather in depth. Yeah, so let's kick it off. So this is going to be where you spawn if you're obviously spawn this side. With regards to spots up here, there isn't really too many spots. Well, if you're playing AR, say for example P2's up, which is over in that area over behind this wall. This is a lovely spot for you to sit as an AR or a sub if you've got a beam on your sub. If you're you can block spawns from this area, and say you've already got 3 on hill defending in front of time. You can literally sit here and you can cap anyone jumping up over here. You can kill anyone jumping up here because you'll see them walk through, and you can actually see people jump up to the jump up a bit of the hard point. So you're actually covering quite a large range of area here. Even if you don't get the kill of someone jumping up, you can at least communicate it to your team, and hopefully you'll be able to put a couple bullets in them so they'll be weak, and it means they can fully focus their attention to front. Yeah, so that's super helpful for your team. As well, you can be a bit more cruddy. If you want to stand right here, you'll be able to see anyone running through the hard point. Say if you know they're adding pressure, you can sort of back up and sit here and have anyone. Chances are they're not going to be walking all the way around to this sort of side. So if you sit here, as so, you can make sure that you can pick people off. Likely, you can also similarly you can also do this, but that's not really a tip. That's obviously quite obvious. Moving on to P2. See what we got here. There is a nice little spot. So, for example, you manage to break this hill, and you know that someone's going to be attacking from this sort of side, or you've simply spawned this side and no one's ended up covering it, and you want to watch it. You can actually spot people through this box, and it's completely wallbangable as well. So yeah, this is a useful spot, and then obviously you're not covered by window, but chances are you'll see them cross to window from here, so you'll be aware that they're there, and then you can just be able to maybe crouch here and just be a little bit more vigilant, or not crouch so you can still see people. But yeah, that's a nice little spot for you guys if you want a little bit more info here. Obviously you can jump up on these and help watch the run through there. Similarly, you can jump up here and help front. But obviously these are all pretty well-known spots, and they're not tips and tricks in my humble opinion. So moving on to another spot. These spots up here are very strong. I'll go through why. This one, you can watch the whole of the entirety of the back spawn by strafing around it like this. So if your team are on the hard point, you know they're spawning back here, and if you can't get to this sort of area because they're sort of lingering here, you can actually just jump up here and maybe watch them drop down from window, or you'll be able to see them come around here. This is more of an ideal spot for an AR because chances are if someone picks a heady there, it's harder to get them off the heady with a sub than an AR. So this will be ideal if you have an AR. And it also means you can strafe all the way to this side and then help people front. Now on this one, you can actually capture the hard point from like being on the edge here. Which is beneficial simply due to the fact that you can be on the hard point and no one really knows where you are. So it means people have to then run through and expose themselves without, and you've got an easy gunny on them there. If you're when you spawn this side off the very first, you always need to send at least one man over here, because chances are the enemy team spawning that side are going to be trying their hardest to get all the way over here for P2 spawns, because essentially this is, if you've got P2 spawns, it's really hard to break. So if you're that one guy defending, rather than sitting up here and popping people off as so, I would recommend completely playing. If you've got 3 men challenge mid, there's no need for you to chow mid as well. So I would recommend fully playing hill over here. This is an example of what I mean by you can capture it from up here. But a nice place for you to sit if you're purely defending this side is just here. Because what's going to happen? They're going to be checking that window. They're going to check when they run out of there, and they're not really going to be aware of this sort of spot. So this is a super cruddy area for you to be able to get an easy free kill of people running out. And you can also do a similar thing. What I like to do is just lie down. they're not gonna be able to see you through this window because you're here, and chances are they're gonna just wander through. They're not gonna see anyone like straight away, so they might just go up there. It's a free kill. You can then chill out and chill anyone else chilling, like so. If you are trying to attack this hard point from this side, obviously you can lie down here, and this is a nice little credit spot. If they're spawning back in Temple, this is a nice little area. And also having someone up here is handy as well, simply due to the fact that if you've got someone lying there, like in the position I just showed, you can have someone here watching the whole of the back and this pinch here. Obviously, you are fully exposed here, but as long as someone's got your mid, you should be fine. Moving on to this truck. Now this truck's pretty useful because, say for example, you're trying to break P2, you can, and no one's instantly here. You can sprint over to here, and you could maybe send a couple people through Temple to chow them. But you can also jump up here and chow anyone who's on this heady, or defend in the window and front P2 like so. Maybe get a couple of picks. If your teammate is spawning in there, it'll block the spawns, which means they'll end up spawning all the way out. Moving on to maps. I think this is called. Well, it's not actually called maps, but this is what we call it, maps, because of all the maps. If you jump on this, you can obviously chow Coop, and that's as much as I know in this sort of area. Moving down to here, obviously you've got this heady, obviously, which is abusive. This is a nice little spot. Say, for example, you're trying to block spawns and you're here, you can literally see through the crack here. If anyone runs past, you'll be able to, know they're coming, and then you can chow, knowing they're there. Almost like you're having walls, essentially. A nice little spot I like. If you don't know, there's a hard point in this sort of area. It's P3. If you manage to break this area and you've got someone watching your mid, if you can jump up here, and this is a nice little spot for you to be able to. Well, you've got cover behind this post. You can't strafe any more right because there's a beam. I mean, you can get sort of in the beam, but any further right you can't get. So you can come behind here and chow like this for anyone coming into the hard point, or even chowing down low like this. They're not going to be expecting you to be up here. Maybe they might expect you to be on the heady like this, but they're going to be shooting legs if they're shooting there. And right here, you're going to have the advantage of surprise. So there's that. Moving on to P1 sort of area. Again, you can capture the hard point from on this box. You don't have to be down on here. You can capture it on here, which means you can then instantly jump straight up. That's not the biggest thing. Other than that, there's not really much I can say about points. Point 1 of hardpoint, because it's just a square in the middle of the map. Say, for example, you're pushing P3 down here, and someone's in tin. A nice area I've found is if you jump up onto these barrels, and strafe over to the right, you'll be able to get a pick of them if you don't strafe too far, like so. That, or you can shout under the van, and then hopefully pick them up like that. Now, let's say you are... Oh, actually, one more thing. You can jump up on this van, and I know you might think, oh, this is pretty useless, but it actually means you can see a lot of this hard point. A common spot for people to sit is like on this head statue. So if you come here and you jump, you'll be able to see them, and then you can wall bang them like so, or maybe get the odd damage, and then enable your team to break it. And then you can jump straight into Coop and then challenge it like that. Moving on to... Yeah, we'll move into here. When you're on this hard point, you can obviously capture it from lying down here. You can actually be quite far off it and capture the hard point here. So, say for example, you're the only one here and you're trying to pick up an extra 20 seconds of scrap time. Instead of just chilling here, which is a common area for people to sit or behind the post, or just look here. If you lie down right here, it means that you're completely invisible to people. They will have no idea where you are, and it means that they're right in your face as soon as they get here, which means you're going to be pre-aimed, and it's going to take you 3 bullets to kill them. So that's a nice little spot. Obviously, when you're in trench, you can watch the whole cross to mid, like so, and you can jump up at all points, as easy as that. If you know they're sort of pushing front hill, and you want to sort of help out your team, you can actually jump up here, and doing so means that you can see that barrel heady all the way over there, which is a common place for people to sit, which you guys probably know, and it means then you can chow people on the hard point from a height which means that chances they're going to be shooting your legs. I don't know. I mean, I'm not even stood on anything here. They're going to be shooting your legs, and you're going to be able to just pick them off as easy as that. For those of you who climb this ladder or jump and climb this ladder, there's no need to do that. If you literally just hold A, it picks, or X or jump, whatever it is, it just sends you straight up. It's as easy as that, and it saves you a lot of time. Whilst we're here, you can jump onto this bit, and then you can actually coop jump up from here with an AR. Oh, can't jump up there. Can't get on it now. Anyway, if you can get yourself up there, like I did the first time, like so, you can then chow someone up broken like that. I'm going to be speaking briefly about how to break this hard point from this side. It's not the easiest one to do, but my go-to method at the moment is to slide all the way off here into this bush. Once you're here, you're covered from people, well, sort of. You're covered if you're in this sort of area. You're covered from people sat up in the trapdoor. And you're going to just be zooming across people's screen, and then if you're pre-aiming here, like so, say, like that, you're going to have easy picks of people here. You're blocked by this, so you can sort of use this as a bit of cover. And you can even lie down and shoot through this wood bit here, this fence. Excuse me. So that's that. Say, for example, you're trying to pick people off spawn. If you could jump up here and you've got a nice line of sight of people running towards where we are currently, or P3. So, for example, if that's where you're defending, off spawn, and it could give you a free couple of kills. So that's a nice little spot for you to learn. Moving on down to P5. P5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, P5. There's actually a nice little spot down here. So, if you didn't know, you can get up here. Say if you're defending the hard point. This is where I was countering from down there. If you lie down here, or even just step back here, you can, sort of guard anyone running through trench to hill, and they've got this slither of like trapdoor to be able to see you through. So you do have a huge advantage. Now, with regards to capping the point, say for example you're by yourself and you're capping the point, and you want to be a bit cruddy if you're trying to get scrap time, whatever the situation is, you can actually lie down here. Now, this is a nut spot because I don't even think you're in the hard point yet. Obviously, you can see we are, and if you lie down, you're almost invisible. So if you're trying to just contest a little bit, lying down here is a nice spot. And even if you crouch, you're a bit hidden because you're in a bush, and that way you can just shoot anyone, because they're going to be, chances are, if they know someone's on the hill, they're going to be challenging right around like this. They're not going to look here first. So yeah, that's nice. Moving on back here, obviously you can get up. You can get up here, and from here you can chow here. But this is just a normal spot. You guys know about this. There's no need to talk to you about that like idiots. When defending this hard point from this side, often an area for someone to sit is right back here. This way you've got the whole of the cross from mid from this area here, from P3. You've got the whole of the cross to mid, and you can pick them off like so. Or a lot of people stand here, and have got the same effect. Now, this is a great position because there are very few counters to this position, and if you're pre-aiming this, you're literally pre-aiming this door, that area, any crossover here, and it's a nutty spot, which is why it's so commonly used. It tends to be an AR spot, but an AR probably would sit further back here because obviously anyone challenging there out this door with a sub will probably kill them first. Yeah, this is a nice spot. However, it's very common, and people are going to expect you to be sat there. So I like to either lie down here and just challenge anyone close range coming through mid, because chances are if they've come out this area, they're going to be checking this and they're going to run straight to it. They're not going to wrap all the way around like so to chal it, and if they do, it's just bad luck. But yeah, you can either like crouch behind this and watch them come through here, but I think your head might be exposed. But I like to lie down. That, or you lie down over here. Now this is another cruddy spot. They're not going to. If you're in a dark coloured character, they're not going to see you lying down here. I mean, even here works. But from here you can just pick people off, run to the hill. Simple. Right, now I have shown you a. This is a nice little nerd trick actually, nerd spot. If you jump up on the van, you can see the cave, especially if you jump. Say if you've got an AR, this is a good space for an AR. If you jump, you can see right into the cave. Say, for example, you're defending P3 and you just come off spawn and you know someone's going to be there. You can shoot through there, get some hit markers or some kills. That's a nice little spot. Now, I said how powerful this position is right here. There is a beautiful counter to it, which I saw Salim use, if you guys are a fan of the CDL, in the Major, the Champs. And it's actually just here. If you jump, if you come to anywhere along here and jump, you're able to get a free spot. Even if you get this for intel, you can then chow with with some sort of confidence knowing where they are. That way you can literally just pick it up here, like so. Moving on to P3. Say, for example, you're on the hill, you can actually, well, this, again, another obvious thing, you can jump up here. Now, this is, as long as you've got the right side covered through coop and your whole, obviously, back's covered because you've got spawns, this is a nice little spot for you to have a mean heady. And in fact, you can strafe all the way over to the left, covered by this square, to not get shot from that heady. Because challenge that heady, it's a 50-50 at this point, if you've got similar gun skill. But strafing over to the left means that you can just pick anyone coming out of there. And that's the only way they can come from the front. So that's a nice little spot. Similarly, if you're playing again a bit cruddy, you can lie down here and get time. And what they'll probably do is push this head statue because they're going to think someone's behind this. And then from here, you'll be able to just get an easy pick. Another nice spot, if you can get away with it, is here. Again, very cruddy. But say you're blocking spawns behind you and you know for a fact they're going to be spawning this way. Line here can get you another free couple of kills. This is a nice little spot for you to be able to, you know, get a couple kills, relieve the pressure, and then maybe change position back to here, like so. A nice spot I managed to find as well is this. So you're going to be able to, excuse me, that was my computer. You're going to be able to see through this barrier. They're not going to see you at all through this. They've got so many places to check. They're not going to see you at all through that. It's very hard to see. And if you've got a sub or a Krig, or an AR, not just a Krig, you'll be able to get some beams through there, and get initial picks or some hit markers, and then alert your team that they're there, and then you get the trade, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Moving on to Coop, there's not really much to say about Coop, other than the fact that obviously if you jump up onto this, you can see right into Maps window. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. There's actually one more spot which I'd like to show you guys. Say if you know someone's in that window, you can just wallbang this, like so, and it will go all the way through, obviously. Or actually, not that, sorry, not that. Wallbang this, and it goes all the way through. As you can see, the bullets go there, and you'll probably see the bullets. I don't know whether they travel that far because it's a sub. But yeah, you can, take my word for it, you can wallbang this. So if you know someone's there in your challenge, just peek it and then just spray through the wall, as so. So that's going to do it. I think I've covered everything. As you guys probably know, it's hard to remember everything on the map because, when you're in game, things are very different. But I'm pretty sure that covers everything I think I need to show you. If there's anything I have missed, make sure you let me know in the comments down below. And if there's anything you found useful and you've used in game and you managed to get a few kills with it, let me know that as well, because it'd be interesting to see if this actually helps anyone. Yeah, so that's going to do it. Content coming up in the week is going to be a mixture of League Play and Vanguard Beta stuff. I think I dropped a 95 kill game on Vanguard Beta. So if that's something you wanted to see, make sure you sub. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao for now.